Yeah. First off, I'd like everybody to give it up one more time for Code Red because they came out and they killed it. And I don't know if anybody noticed, but they had finished up a song and it would just go into silence. Ain't nobody clap, ain't nobody say nothing. That was some premium lounge music. Y'all didn't even know y'all was in the elevator. Anyway, so I have prepared two pieces tonight. Um, they're both going to be done a cappella. I've been a musician for years, and I'm finding more and more that I enjoy doing a cappella pieces and presenting music as poetry, because I feel like if you do what you do properly, the words they become their own music. They speak for themselves. So this first one is called "If I Don't Win." Now, I grew up and I was a pretty odd kid. I was actually something called a gray myre diviner that specialized in oneromancy. Now, I will break that down for you because those were some strange ass words. An oneromancer reads and interprets dreams. I had a lot of friends who had strange ass dreams. I know a lot of people who had strange dreams, and they kind of want to know what those meant. It's kind of the window to the soul, your subconscious telling you things about the future. Um, and so I got really good not only at reading and interpreting dreams, but remembering my own. And so this first piece, If I Don't Win, was a series of dreams that I had, and they kind of spoke for themselves. So I will begin this way. Now, if you'll allow me just one moment to get into my zone, because it's a personal thing that I'm sharing. I kind of gotta figure out where I'm at before I get started. If I don't win, I'm a victim of deja vu. The only problem is they all come true. I saw a world in flames as I knelt crying over a grave, screaming, Grandma, the world's gone insane. I've lost my mind to these rhymes, my girl to this world, my family to these times, my heart to be sure. I came up with a plan, but my plan ain't unfurl. I'm watching this beautiful world burn. It's all in vain. The solution was in my brain. I had the crowd on my arc, but I ain't bring my rain. Had the ball in my court, and I ain't bring my game. And the guilt and the stress, they are killing me to death, Nanny. I was supposed to stop this. I've seen our future and it was not this. If I could go back into time, catch him while he's tracking design and scream out, God, you're picking the wrong prophet. I'm sorry, but I'll fail you. He said, my child, quitting's the sin. We have eternity. We'll do it till then. He said, I'm going to see these rappers and these martyrs fall again and again and again if I don't win. So I discussed it with my mother and my father. And Typhon just said, fuck it, I wouldn't bother. Echidna said she's waiting on a grandson or daughter. We're going to sit and await the slaughter. Go and bring us children. We need a grandchild. That baby's going to need a mother. And you're a monster. You got to find someone to love you. If they ain't get Pac when we send them, they don't get another. If they don't want to listen, fuck them, let them kill each other. I said, I can't give up. Not on a whole people. Not when our origins are so regal. And the people controlling the realm. Mom, they are so evil. She said, they'll crucify you, Yanyo. They won't believe you. I looked my parents in the eye and said, the day that I die, I owe an explanation to everyone inside. So if I'm not around long enough to see my kids, tell them two words. I tried. If I don't win, yeah. So I walked through the alleys and depths and met a man who'd made his home in the valley of the shadow of death. Said he could tell me what to hope for and how to expect. I need to learn from my mistakes and be proud of the rest. Take things to heart, never down to your chest. People are faker. The tool that runs the world, as he handed me some paper. I said, what does it stand for? He said gold. I said, that means nothing. He said, I know, but they fell for it. People yell for it. Go to jail for it. People kill their family and go to hell for it. Then I'll break it. I'll learn it and I'll make it and I'll earn it and I'll take it and I'll burn it. Out of the frying pan, racing straight into the furnace. Tell my mother that I love her, but that girl I found, it's death. She's really flirtish. Tell my father not to bother. I'm a rider, homie. I don't give. Save me a place to rest my head if I don't win. Okay. Strange dreams, right? But you don't really have to interpret those. I've always felt that I should speak. I'm compelled to speak. I've never felt that I'm the best. I've never been the best at anything. Um, but a lot of people feel that what I say needs to be said, so I speak. And I hope that you take something positive away from it, although there are those who take negativity from anything. Now, this next one is a little funnier, but not really. It's called Twitter Spitter. Now, I guarantee you somebody in the crowd is probably going to hate this. I'm going to start in a different place. I grew up and I've always been ostracized. I was different. I've always been different. The funniest part to me is I was different because I was accepting of everything. I was a skateboarder. I've skated for years, but I love football. I love basketball. But beyond that, I love comic books. At heart, I'm a comic nerd, as you can see. I love video games. And all of these things together didn't really mix. So I could never be in one particular circle because there's a portion of me that people just didn't get. And it's easy to mock. I admit that. Now, I call myself a hatriot. Now, a hatriot is someone who is a patriot at heart because I do genuinely love my country, but I hate what it's become. And so, as a hatriot, I look at society, I look at my country, and I realize that things change, but they stay the same. That's a phrase. The more things change, the more they stay the same. And I say that because, as you all can probably tell, comic books have come into fashion. Now, I was mocked for liking comic books. It was kind of the nerd thing to do, the lame thing to do. Now, you have all of these people wearing Spider-Man jerseys and Batman shirts and hats. And people are like, oh, D'Angelo, you must love that. And I don't. Whenever I see a meathead in a Spider-Man jersey or some fluff top wearing a Batman symbol, it makes me cringe a little bit because you really take something away from those stories. The purpose of Spider-Man is, with great power comes great responsibility. Batman was all about non-lethal, like, incapacitation. If you do these things, you become that which you hate. And so you always have to try to be better. And when you haven't read comic books, you don't get that. And so people don't behave that way, especially in hip-hop. Everything's about shooting, it's about killing, it's about being the toughest, when it's never been about being the toughest. It's always been about acceptance. Now, I'm going to finish this off with one quick thing before I start. The death of Superman was always one of my favorite story arcs because it took Superman to kill Doomsday. He was the only person that could stop. That man ran through every hero in the DC universe. And Superman has always been the most powerful. Not because he's the strongest, not because he's the fastest, even though he is a powerful person. It's because at his heart he knew he is the last line of defense. If Superman falls, it's all over for the rest of the world. That's it. And so after Superman died, I was watching a documentary about its writing. Superman died, and there was a story arc called The Reign of Supermans. You had a guy who built his own set of armor to parade around as Superman with a hammer and fight crime. You had an evil guy who was half cyborg, half Superman. You had a Superman clone. You had a guy who just showed up with telekinetic powers and glasses who was just frying people. And what that Reign of Superman story arc taught was that in the absence of Superman, people are willing to accept anything. That's how important he was. That's how much he was needed. And so, while I don't want to compare myself to Superman, I don't look at myself like that. I feel like if I don't speak, there may or may not be a host of other people to step in and say maybe what I'm trying to say. But much like Cyborg Superman, how they thought he was Superman, he was really evil. You know, there are these things. You have to be you, even if you're different, even if you're ostracized for it. So this next one is a song I wrote for the 99%. If you've ever felt weird, if you've ever felt strange, if you've ever felt different, if you've ever felt ostracized, if you've ever felt like you were part of something that other people didn't accept, if you've ever worked a second job that barely covered the gas to get there, if you've ever been working first shift, second shift, third shift, and made just enough money to be broke, if you ever felt like you couldn't go to school, or you couldn't dream, you couldn't look for these things because you just didn't have what it takes, or you weren't born in that position, this song is for you. And if at any point I resonate with you, or I touch something within you, what I want you to do is I want you to take a fist, and I want you to put it to your heart, and I want you to put it in the air for me, so that I can see that there is a purpose to me being up here and speaking. All right? Okay. Look, when I was 4 years old, I learned the only pledge of allegiance that I'll ever know. In brightest day and in darkest night, no evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. It's 0 hour and we've forgotten our history. Is this victory? Are you kidding me? What happened to great power and great responsibility? Oh, that was just me. Well, that's cool, I guess. Here's a State of the Union address. Hip-hop used to have a voice. Now it's reduced to sex, drugs, and what sells. What the hell? Oh, you're a Martian? Well, people down on Earth need your help. It's like H to the Izzo. V to the is A. We can't even rally to lift our minimum whiz age. We're about our dollars but can't make a chizange. That's in Cizane. This was just on my Brizane. Inane rappers rhyme about moving pounds like curl bars. Their only motives are more money or girl parts. We won't fight for our rights but'll fight for World Star? That's ridiculous. My mission's to get rid of this, and I'm gonna bring everybody like me. Cause you can't stop the social media from typing, and you can't stop a real warrior from fighting. We don't strike, we come down like lightning. Crack, crack, boom. This is my writing, cause you can't stop the social media from typing, and you can't stop the flow, you broke the piping. Bring us out the dark, this one's enlightening, a Twitter spitter. The land of the free, don't even start. You're taught the Pledge of Allegiance before you know what pledge or allegiance are. The Star-Spangled Banner is not our grammar, and they're taking music out of the schools. That's not cool. I mean, guys, I realized that this was our lives. Is it wise to just let them keep feeding our kids lies? The sheer size of the scale of brainwash is staggering. The bleached white stars and stripes left conflagrating while the working class gets truck stick. This shit is maddening. Your children's future has become a commodity. The university price spiked in all the right ways while they dangle free rides in front of the descendants of slaves and children whose families just don't get paid enough to really know what life is. If it's like this, stand up. Or somebody put your hand up. I'm at the gate demanding for answers, and I'm gonna bring everybody like me. Cause you can't stop the social media from typing, and you can't stop a real warrior from fighting. We don't strike, we come down like lightning. Crack, crack, boom. This is my writing. You can't stop the social media from typing. You can't stop the flow. You broke the piping. Bring us out the dark. This one's enlightening, a Twitter spitter. So as I sit here in America land, safely cradled underneath my warm blanket of debt, knowing that leaving means owing, at least it means going. My breathing is slowing. I'm showing signs of patriotism remission. Every now and then it flares up, I get to bitching. It passes, just like cash through the paths of fascists. They're saying it's up, but it feels slow as molasses. It's thick and getting thicker, cause the rich are getting richer, plus a flicker or a flipper get more sympathy than niggas in this world. Can't even say they treat us like animals, cause if you shoot a dog, you go to jail. Anyway, okay, I guess I should remind you again, we killed and rioted over tea, but we can't smoke weed. British persecuted religion and we ran across the sea. LGBT, empire struck back like C-3PO. I couldn't give a damn what you're owed, because this is a land that you stole. Cry me a river, but until you walk that trail of tears, I'm here to curtail the fears of the frail, the weird, the queer, and I'm gonna bring everybody like me, because you can't stop the social media from typing, and you can't stop a real warrior from fighting. We don't strike, we come down like lightning. Crack, crack, boom. This is my writing, and you can't stop the social media from typing. You can't stop the flow, you broke the piping. Bring us out the dark, this one's enlightening, a Twitter spitter. So that's what I prepared for you today. Everybody else is gonna be awesome, so let's get together, have a fantastic time, bring the energy up a little bit, clap, cheer, make sure everybody knows that for everything you do, no matter how different you are, no matter what you present, it's appreciated because we are all smaller pieces of a larger mosaic. Have a good night.